Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking the absolute monster that is the 2026 World Cup and breaking it down into a thrilling, data-driven preview of exactly what you need to know. Whether you're a fantasy manager, a sports bettor, or just a die-hard fan ready for the summer, we're going to use the hard numbers and tactical breakdowns to see how this monumental tournament is taking shape.
Here's how we're breaking it all down today. We'll start with the sheer scale of the new 48-team era, reveal the statistical heavyweights, unpack the fierce tactical battles, brave the group of death, and finally count down the dark horses who could flip the script on the world stage.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1. The 48-team era begins. More teams, and for sure, way more drama. Because for the first time in the history of the sport, we are looking at a sprawling 48-team field. It's going to be spread out across 12 groups of 4, and this completely scrambles the math for advancing to the knockout stages, since the top 2 from each group plus the 8 best third-place teams will actually move on.
And bringing in all those extra teams means we get a staggering 104 matches in total. I mean, just think about the physical toll of that. Teams are now staring down 8 grueling rounds just to crown a single champion. It's literally a marathon now, fundamentally altering how managers have to approach the tournament.
So how do you actually survive this gauntlet? Well, Galvora's tactical analysis lays out 3 absolute non-negotiables. First up, you desperately need deep squad rotation to dodge that severe muscular fatigue. Second, one-touch decision-making. Galvora points out that slow passing is basically tactical death right now, so mastering one-touch football gives you a massive edge. And finally, adapting to the elements. Teams need the mental fitness to handle playing on the West Coast at dawn and then suddenly shifting to the East Coast at dusk. It's wild.
Moving on to Section 2, the statistical heavyweights, the true Goliaths of the tournament.
What's really fascinating about the data is how it paints a super clear picture of the undisputed heavyweights, the ones sports bettors and fantasy managers are going to be targeting heavily. Looking at RotoWire's massive projection model, which actually crunches attack and defense ratings for all 48 nations, Spain is sitting pretty as the dominant statistical favorite, with a 21.1% probability to win it all. Then you've got France right behind at 15.7% and England at 14.7%.
But if you are playing daily fantasy sports, this is the number you need to lock in on, 14.7. Spain actually leads the entire 48-team pack, with 14.7 projected goals for the tournament. And thanks to that insanely stingy defense of theirs, they have the highest expected games played in the field at 6.9. Basically, they're going deep and they're going to score.
Just look at the absolute titans of the group stage here. With win probabilities for Spain at over 79%, Brazil at 76.5%, and Argentina and Germany right there too, these are statistically your safest bets. If you're building a fantasy roster, anchoring your team with players from these 4 nations is absolutely the way to go. They're virtual locks to rack up points early on.
All right, Section 3, Tactics and Treachery. Clashing styles on the pitch. Because as we all know, soccer isn't played on a spreadsheet. In Group C, we've got this amazing stylistic friction. You've got Brazil bringing overwhelming individual skill and an attacking dominance that very few can match. But they are up against Morocco. Remember Morocco's historic run in 2022? They bring a famously rigid defensive structure and lightning-fast counterattacks down the wings. The speed of decision-making from Morocco's midfield is going to be the ultimate test against Brazil's high press.
Then, over in Group H, it's a completely different clash. Spain's legendary tiki-taka, that endless one-touch passing game, is going up against Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia's entire strategy revolves around aggressive fighting spirit, closing down space instantly to disrupt comfortable play from the back. If Spain hesitates on the ball for even a second, the Saudis' high-pressure tactics are designed to force critical errors.
That brings us to Section 4, inside the group of death. Let's navigate Group I.
This group right here is a total nightmare for bettors, but man, is it a dream for us fans. You've got the tournament favorite France, then you add in a deeply underrated Norway, a physical African powerhouse in Senegal, and this highly motivated youthful Iraqi team. Literally every single match in this group has massive knockout implications.
Now, obviously, the numbers show France comfortably advancing at 94.2%, but check out Norway. A 72.9% qualification rate and 4.6 projected goals make them the most lethal second-place team in the entire tournament draw. Having Erling Haaland's presence gives them an attacking ceiling that makes them a terrifying draw for anybody.
Tactically within this group, it's just a fascinating mix. France's terrifying physical depth and reliance on stars like Kylian Mbappe will be tested against Iraq's promising young generation. Golvora actually highlights how Iraq counters with immense stamina and relentless aerial crosses. It's this wild clash of raw, youthful energy going head-to-head with seasoned, world-class depth.
And finally, Section 5, Rise of the Dark Horses. The Davids ready to slay.
Because as Sports Illustrated perfectly reminds us, World Cups are always defined by the dark horses, the underdogs who capture our hearts by going on a deep, unexpected run. Just like Morocco did 4 years ago, these are the teams that can completely shred the statistical models.
So, rapid firing through Sports Illustrated's top dark horse threats. First, Senegal brings this incredible balance of technical mastery and physical strength. Norway boasts Holland's absolute inevitability in front of the goal. Ecuador is this gritty, robust unit with an elite defensive record. They barely concede. And Japan, they operate with a cohesive, club-like synergy. Let's not forget, they just beat England.
Speaking of Japan, they are especially fascinating for fantasy players. Look at Group F. With a 58.1% chance to advance in a ridiculously tight battle against Sweden and the Netherlands, their cohesive attack makes them a massive value play. They don't just rely on one superstar. Their collective system is so efficient that it makes them incredibly dangerous.
So I leave you with this final thought to chew on while you're agonizing over your brackets and locking in those fantasy picks. Does the data hold up for the Goliaths like Spain, France, and Brazil? Or is 2026 the year a David finally navigates this massive 48-team marathon and shocks the world? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and enjoy the tournament.